Did you know that global piracy of digital content increased by 18% during 2022? And that's already an increase over previous years of a notable trend of more and more digital content piracy. So when I saw a post recently in the Kajabi Hero group asking how someone could protect themselves from their content being stolen, it prompted me to create this video. So if you've ever wondered how you could protect your content from theft, or just been curious about what options existed, you're in luck because in this video, I'm going to go over 5 strategies for how you can protect your digital content from piracy, as well as a really cool strategy to actually make money from those pirates. But first, before I get into those strategies, there's 3 key concepts that are really important for you to keep in mind as we move forward. The first key concept is the fact that a motivated person who has no intention of paying for your property, your content, etc., will find a way to obtain your property, your content, without paying for it, whether it's by stealing it or by straight up defrauding you for it. And this applies to all businesses. It doesn't matter if you have a brick and mortar clothing retail store, a restaurant, a digital business, or a hotel. I remember working with some hotels locally, and they were telling me stories of people who would book stays at their locations and then a week or two later would do a chargeback and claim that they never attended that property. They never authorized their credit card for use of that property. And the hotels were losing hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year as a result. And that's a hotel. So if someone is really intent on stealing your content, it might still happen. I say that because number 2, there are much bigger platforms and companies out there who are still struggling with global piracy. You look at Netflix, you look at Disney, you look at HBO, companies that literally have hundreds of millions of dollars at their disposal to put towards protecting their intellectual property from being stolen, and yet it still gets pirated, it still gets shared online, and they haven't overcome it. So when I see people asking what can be done in the Kajabi platform or other digital platforms to prevent theft, once again, it's important to realize that you can take steps to minimize it. You can make it harder for it to happen, but it's probably never going to be absolutely impossible to stop a truly motivated person, which leads me to number 3, which is to focus your energy not on trying to prevent the theft of your content, but by trying to monetize and bring as much value as possible to people who are willing to pay for your content, your products, your services. Because the people who steal content most of the time are not really going to go through the actual information that you have made available because they have no value placed on it. All they did was steal it. They copied it from wherever, right? So try not to worry too much about the pirates as much as the people that you actually can help and are willing to pay for your help. With that said, let's get into the actual strategies themselves. So the first strategy that I recommend is blocking your thank you pages, your confirmation pages, your download pages from the search engines. Here's what I mean. All someone really needs to do is go to Google, use the site search operator, and then use an exact match search for a thank you page, a download page, etc. And they can quickly see what pages exist that have your lead magnets, your downloads, your free guides, your reports, etc. available without having to actually opt in for that information. Now, of course, they could have just provided a free or fake email address to get there, but this is so much quicker because they can quickly scan for any exposed pages that you have and just pilfer whatever they see that could be of value. In order to block pages from the search engines in Kajabi, you have 2 options. If you're using one of the website pages, you can just go into the page details and make the website page members only, which means someone would need to be logged into one of your Kajabi customer profiles in order to access that page as a paying customer member of your account. The second option is the landing page details. So in your page details for a landing page, you'd scroll to the bottom and just disable the toggle for letting that page be visible in the search engine. Now, if you just have done this, it might be a bit before those pages are removed from the Google search engines, etc. But this is a great way to help protect your site for people who are just quickly searching the web for anything they can grab with very little effort. Strategy number 2 is to set up a Google alert. All this means is that you go into Google, you search for Google Alert, go to that page, and you can set up search queries that will alert you when a new page, any new content shows up in Google that matches that alert. So for example, you might want to put your name in an exact match quotes, or your product or course titles in exact match quotes. That way, any new page that pops up online that mentions your name or mentions your course or product, you will receive an email for it so you can quickly respond to any new websites, new pages, social accounts that seem to be offering your content without your consent. This leads me to strategy number 3, which is to leverage the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA. Now, essentially what this is it gives you the ability to send a takedown request or go to a website's abuse section and let them know this content on your server is currently in violation of the Copyright Act because it is sharing photos, videos, anything of yours that isn't theirs. By nature of you creating it, kind of as it stands in certain countries, depending on where you are, you don't have to file an official copyright kind of document in order for it to be copywritten. The fact that you've created a piece of digital content, like I said, a video, a photo, etc., anybody who just takes that photo, takes your course videos, takes your books, and uploads it onto their own server is actually in violation of the Copyright Act. So you can submit a takedown request to the owner of the server of that website and say this needs to be taken down or there would be liabilities, legal consequences, etc. And most often, depending on where that server is hosted, they will comply, especially if it's on an Amazon, Cloudflare server, etc. Those 3 options right there give you more of a tactile ability to deal with copyright violations. Now, there's also steps that you can take within your own account to make it more difficult for people to resell, share your content. So strategy number 4 would be to leverage watermarks, basically branding, whether it's having your face during your content, your training, or having watermarks in your slides, your videos that show your logo, that show your website address, that basically make it impossible for someone else to claim the content as their own. Now, don't get it twisted. They might just still sell your content with you in it, and people will knowingly be aware that it's stolen. But at least it minimizes the chance of someone literally taking your content and uploading it on YouTube or their own kind of server and pretending like it was their content. The 5th and final strategy would be to up the interaction with your course content compared to static content. Here's what I mean. You might want to leverage communities. You might want to leverage assessments, assignment reviews, live Q&A calls. Basically, what I'm saying is create an experience that requires engagement with your course platform, whether it's gamification or, like I said, doing live calls, one-on-one calls, etc. That if someone was to just steal your course, steal your books, they might not have as much of a valuable experience compared to someone who's actually been approved and authorized to engage with your platform. Another option that you have is to use locked posts within Kajabi, for example. So typically, if someone's going to steal content like a course, etc., they're probably not actually going through the content and learning from it. They're probably buying your course and then just using a screen grab, some sort of technology to just download or record whatever video that you have throughout your course modules. So by using a locked post, a locked module, and adding assessments that need to be completed, that need to be passed in order to proceed, you're essentially forcing the pirate to truly go through your course content, learn it, pass the quizzes, the assessments that you have at the end of each module before they could proceed. And that's going to slow them down drastically. That actually might deter them from even trying to do this. Another option would be to drip out your content. Now, of course, by dripping out the content, a pirate, for example, might just wait until enough time has passed that all the content has been dripped out and then just go in. So using a mixture of both also helps to limit or at least reduce the appeal of taking your content. Another strategy, sub-strategy, I guess you could say, would be to have hidden bonus content within your actual content. So what I mean is, instead of just having all of your downloadable resources right there in the lesson, your PDFs, your transcripts, your audio files that someone could just download, if you actually placed it within your video content and said to download the PDF for this training, go to this landing page, which would be blocked from the search engines, or go to this page, which could be a website page that's members only, and download the content for this lesson. Now, a pirate who's not actually going through the material won't realize that they aren't downloading everything that someone would want if they're reselling it. However, someone going through the course would quickly see, oh, okay, I just got to go to this landing page to download the materials for this program. Yes, it adds another layer. There's a bit less convenience in it, but again, it also deters people from stealing your content because only the people who truly have access to it and are going through your course content will access that material. So hopefully that makes sense. The best part about Kajabi, and that is why I do enjoy the platform, is it does allow you to leverage all of these strategies. You can build a community within Kajabi so that only the people who purchase your course can go into the community, ask questions, bounce ideas off of each other. You can do live group calls within the community. You can do coaching calls, one-on-one calls, if you're offering, say, a bonus to anyone who buys your higher ticket courses from within Kajabi. And of course, you have the access to the resources, the different materials that you can provide your people. So if you don't already have a Kajabi account, make sure to grab a free extended access to Kajabi to try it for yourself below this video. I highly recommend it, and it's one of the best ways to deter pirates from taking your stuff is to just up that interactivity. Now, the final thing I wanted to mention is something that I learned a long time ago as it relates to digital theft. And the advice that I was given is the fact that you should create your content in a way that even if it was to be stolen, you could still make money from it. And that was a big game changer for how I really approached creating content moving forward. So here's what I mean. Let's say someone was to illegally download your course, your book, etc. Well, if inside of your course, if inside of your book, you have links to other courses that you provide, maybe you've got affiliate links to, say, Amazon products that you use to run your business, your computer equipment, your recording equipment, software, etc. You then have the ability that someone, should they happen to buy a stolen copy of your course, might still click a link in your ebook that gives you an affiliate commission. Or perhaps you have other courses that you are recommending inside of your course. So let's say you're doing a course on nutrition. Well, you might have additional products they can buy for training, for fitness, for meditation, for yoga. So even though your course might be on nutrition, you might have other stuff that you're actually promoting from within your course that someone who has come across your material somehow might say, wow, this person knows their stuff. I'm actually going to go buy this course. So that's something just to keep in mind. Find a way to monetize your content, your courses, so that even if it were to get stolen, the people going through that stolen material might still generate income for you. Now, if you found this interesting or useful at all, make sure to hit the like button so I know to create more content like this in the future. And if you want more strategies as it relates to how to protect your business and legal advice, Kajabi has some great information and resources which you can learn about in this video right here.